veterans, what are some things that could help speed up your VA compensation claim? In today's video, I'm going to give you some examples as a former VA rater that I saw that other veterans use to help speed their claim up. Make sure you stick around. Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. My name is Dwayne. I got a video for that Kimball, United States Army veteran and retired VA rating specialist. Before I get into today's video, make sure you do me that huge favor and hit that like, subscribe, and notification button. Also, don't forget to click the link in the description section and pick up your copy of my new book, The VA Compensation Blueprint. It's time to win. Yes, veterans, it's time to win. So, today's video. What are some things that could, and I emphasize could strongly, that could speed up your VA compensation claim? The first thing, vets being educated on this process. And what I mean by that is the do's and the don'ts. The VA gives us the answers in the 38 CFR, the M21-1, the M21-5. We have to take the time and go out and educate ourselves on this process. I have over 700 plus videos where I'm educating you, giving you the blueprint, going to the VA's website, doing the heavy lifting, doing the research, doing the video, and putting it in front of you. Veterans have to invest the time to educate themselves. And that's what I do on my YouTube channel, also in the 2 books that I've written on this topic. Now, I know going out to the VA's website, it's boring. A lot of information out there, and it is boring. So when you see one of my videos where I say slide number 1, slide number 2, slide number 3, slide number 4, slide number, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera, I've done that heavy lifting for you. The veterans that take the time to educate themselves on this process, their claims move a little bit faster, okay? Not every single time, but the majority of the time, it moves a little bit faster because now they've leveled that playing field. They understand the game. They got the answers to the test, okay? So make sure you're not that veteran that's just spinning their wheels and throwing something up against the wall, hoping that it sticks. 2, having the right evidence. Understanding what evidence you need based on the claim condition that you're claiming and how you're claiming it under the different ways of service connection. And I know you're saying, Dwayne, you lost me. Okay, I got some examples for you. Let's say you claim tinnitus, tinnitus, whatever you want to call it, ringing in the ears, okay? Are you claiming that due to your MOS? Yep. So you're claiming it as direct service connection. You need 3 things: current diagnosis, a link in service. Even if you weren't treated, you're asking them to concede it based on your MOS. And then the Nexus, the medical opinion and rationale, links the current diagnosis to the event in service that you don't have or not documented, but you're asking them to concede it while in service based on your MOS of you being exposed to acoustic trauma, okay? Now, when you understand this, you know what evidence to go get. You know what it needs to say. I've done videos on how to win your claim for tinnitus due to being exposed to acoustic trauma, loud noises. So all that in turns, what it does, it helps you to reasonably articulate that symptomology when you get to that C&P exam, okay? Now, also, let's say you're claiming a condition and you decide to go to the VA's website and download one of those public DBQs. Huge controversy right now, right? Some VA employees are using it and some are refusing to use it. They are ignoring the regulations that states, hey, if this is done in that DBQ and Nexus statement, no further examination may not be necessary. So why are they still scheduling that exam? Some of them anyway, okay? So it goes back to that education piece that I talked about earlier. The veteran being educated on this process so they know the do's and don'ts. When that happens, when you go out and get that DBQ, you know what they're not supposed to do. Some of them, meaning VA employees, overdevelop that claim. They go ahead and request the exam when one is not necessary. Then the veteran has to appeal, and they win it on appeal. And they could have won that claim 6 or 7 months earlier, but that employee decided to develop for that, okay? So that's what I mean, understanding what you're claiming and under the different ways of how you're claiming it and your evidence, okay? The next one, the VA employee not knowing their job. And you may say, Dwayne, wait a minute. They've got hired, they've got trained, and you telling me it's VA employees that don't know their job? Yes, okay? And it's sad to say, they should. They may know certain parts of their job, but not the other parts. Because I've seen claims where people just make mistakes, okay? They knew their job, but they just made a mistake. They're human. I made a mistake when I was a rater. I'm not perfect, okay? But it's a difference than making a mistake, okay? But then you're making multiple mistakes because you haven't decided to take the extra time to attend this training, to attend that training, to understand this, or you understand that. As VA employees just throwing stuff up against the wall and hoping something stick, right? Now, you may also be saying, Dwayne, well, what does this have to do with us? Oh, it has everything to do with you. Because if that VSR and RVSR don't know what they're doing or they're unclear and your claim lands on their desk and then you get that notification letter and that rating decision in the mail, that education that I talked about, see me coming back to the education piece, you know what they didn't do. So by the time you get ready to file that claim, file that high-level review claim, you got them. Oh, according to 38 CFR, according to this court case, according to this M21-1, this -5, this is what that VSR and rater was supposed to do. They didn't give me due process. So therefore, I'm requesting this, all right? Now, you may feel like, man, Dwayne, this is just too much. Trust me, it is not. Once you dial in what you're claiming under the different ways of service connection, how you're claiming that condition, what evidence you have, and then you understand what 38 CFRs that could impact what you're doing with that claim, that's huge. That is a huge VA nugget because eventually it's going to land on somebody's desk that's going to say, hey, I agree with Mr. or Miss or Mrs. Veteran. They are right. And guess what? We're going to go ahead and service connect them, okay? Now, the final thing that can help speed that claim up. Not submitting a ton of evidence. I'm going to say it again. Not submitting a ton of evidence. I've seen veterans, I could tell they were on vacation, or maybe they were retired and they were taking a cross-country trip. They start out in Jacksonville, Florida. A few months later, they end up in San Diego, California. They stop in Biloxi, Mississippi at the VA. They stop in New Orleans. They stop in Houston. They stop in San Antonio. They stop in El Paso. They stop in Phoenix. And then they stop in San Diego. And they go multiple times to the VA. And that's not including wherever they live. They're going to that VA. Now, let's say they do that for like a year and a half. Then file a claim. Somebody has to look through that. Now, I'm not saying not to get treatment. If you got to go and you have to go that many times, hey, do what you have to do. But then they'll turn around and they'll download all that information. That rater can see that. They have access to your progress notes. Okay? Now, what would I do? I know you're about to ask me that, so I'm gonna let you know. I would download those records. I would go through them. If I'm claiming a back condition, then I'm pulling out all the progress notes that only pertain to my back condition, so that rater don't have to go through and look at all that stuff. And it's like looking for a needle in a haystack, okay? Also, private progress reports. Veterans sit in, I had a veteran one time, you know those, I don't know what they call those cases that like you go to Office Max, Office Depot, and they have the reams of paper, copy of paper, print paper, and they have them in those cases. I've seen veterans get evidence and just pile it in there and send it to the VA. I tell you right now, nobody's looking at that. Nobody won't look at that. I don't care what nobody in management tells you. I don't care what a VSO tells you. You might get 1 or 2 people that be like, oh yeah, I'm gonna go. No. VA employees are on quotas. They're not gonna have time to sift through all that information like looking for a grain of salt in the middle of the sea. No, you're putting them at a disadvantage, and they're human. I'm human, everybody's human. They will miss maybe one important document that's needed. Why don't you invest the time, go through all this evidence, and pull out exactly what you need for that particular condition that you're claiming? That's gonna help move your claim through this process a little bit faster. You don't wanna be the reason your claim gets bogged down. The VA is already slow. They're a lot faster than years ago, back when I first started, but they still got some catching up to do. So if you know the system is already slow, why are you gonna bog it down and make it even slower, okay? So hopefully you understand those examples. I'll be doing follow-up videos to make sure you understand, but those are some things that you can do to help speed up your VA compensation claim. And with that being said, make sure you like, subscribe, hit that notification button, and check this out. If you're still watching, go ahead and do me a favor. Put a bunch of fire emojis in the comment section and let me know you watched till the end of the video. Thank you.